Okay, guys, so when I say your name, please say present, okay? First, Campuzano Jimenez,
Here.
Castillo Coto,
Here.
Estrella Benítez. Okay. Jaramillo y Triago. Jaramillo y Triago. Okay. Macías Ángel. Macías Ángel. Okay, Jaramillo is connecting. Okay. Macías Ángel is here. No. Ángel Macías, are you here? Say hello, present. Mr. Macías. Okay, Mr. Macías. Say present in 3, 2, 1.
Mande, mister.
Okay, say present, Mr.
Sorry, teacher, present.
Okay. Don't worry. Pinargote Maeva. Pinargote Maeva. Okay. Solís Iker. Okay, Julio Estrella here.
Present.
Okay. Solís Iker and Julio Estrella. Aspiazu García. Aspiazu García. It's here, no. Okay. Méndez Juliana. Méndez,
Present.
okay. Arriaga Jocelyn.
Presente. Here.
Campaña Matías. Campaña Matías. It's here, no. Gaibor Miranda. Gaibor Miranda. López Vera. López Vera. Okay. Mr.
Está aquí,
López.
pero se
Yes.
está conectando.
It's connecting. Okay, thank you. Seminario María Emilia.
Present.
Toasa Bravo, Génesis.
Present.
Vasco Villacreces, María José.
Present.
Okay. So let's start, guys. Please. Okay, let's go this way. Okay, guys, so let's continue. The last week we saw the first conditional, okay? The use of first conditional. So remember, we use the first conditional to talk about the consequence of a possible or impossible future action, okay? We have the two clauses. The first clause, condition clause, if plus present simple, and then we have the second clause, result clause, will or won't plus main verb, okay? The condition clause can come before or after the result clause, okay? Unless means only if or if not. Okay, let's make a little review with this topic before to start the class, okay? So let me show you again. Where is the, okay. I think this is. Okay, so. Okay, so we have the first conditional to use express future consequence, okay? Samples, if you do all the homeworks, we have the comma, you will get a good grade, okay? Remember, when we use will, the verb is in base form. or in infinitive. It's the same. In base form, it's more simple. Okay, it's easier. Okay, so you will get good grade if you do all the homework. We can use these two patterns. Okay, you can use the first one or the second one. We can use the comma in the middle, or we can use the if in the middle. We use comma when we have before the condition clause. When we have the condition clause at the end, so we have to use the if in the middle, no comma. Okay, unless we can use unless to replace the if clause, but unless have a rule. Always, when we use unless, the sentence is in affirmative. Okay, the sentence is in affirmative. But for example, unless I pay attention, I won't understand the class pattern. But this is a pattern number one. Another example, unless I pass the exam, I won't graduate this year. We have two patterns. It's the same with if clause. So for example, we can use the comma in the middle only if we have before the condition clause at the beginning, okay? But if we have the condition clause at the end, so we have to use unless, in this case, unless in the middle. Okay, so it's easy, it's clear, okay? Remember, when we use will or want, the verb is in base form, okay? We don't have to use s or ed or ing, okay? That is incorrect. The correct form is in base form, the verb, okay? So let's continue. Please open your books. Open your books. Open your books on the page number, what number is this? It's number 61. Please open your book 61. Okay. We did the exercise number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I think we did this exercise. Okay, so we have to do the vocabulary. Okay, we have a new vocabulary. Verb to talk about energy. Okay. So we have the verb to talk about energy. The first exercise is match the verb with their definitions. Write from 1 to 8. Listen and check. Okay, you have to listen. Then you have to check. Okay, you have to match. In this case, it's to match. Okay, so please listen. Okay, guys, so please listen again and check your answers. Please listen again.
Teacher, I can hear.
Okay, what? Okay,
Yes,
so sorry about that. So sorry. Okay.
6. Page 61.
Okay. Can you hear right now?
Yes.
Yes.
Vocabulary.
Okay.
Exercise 1.
Number 1. To reuse. This means to use something again. Number 2. To throw away means to get rid of something. Number 3. To recycle means to collect and treat rubbish in order to produce useful materials that can be used again. Number 4. To waste means to use too much of something or use it incorrectly. Number 5. To charge. This means to fill up an empty battery again. Number 6. To disconnect. This means to stop the connection between an electrical appliance and the power source. Number 7. To save. Means to stop something from being wasted. Number 8. To leave on standby. Means not to switch an appliance off completely so it is ready to be used at any time.
Okay, guys, so let's listen. Okay, let's check. Now we have the first one, to reuse. Do you remember the meaning of reuse is to use again an object that we think or we thought that that didn't work, okay? Now, please tell me Doasa Genesis, the number 1.
Again.
What?
To use something again.
To use something again. Okay, to use something again. Now, number 2 is to throw away. To throw away when you have an object, or for example, your cell phone, it doesn't work. Okay, you only do this. To throw away, to the litter. Okay, throw away. So what is the number 2? Mr. Jaramillo, what is the number 2? Throw away. What is the meaning? The definition.
To get rid of something.
Okay, what? Repeat, please.
To get rid of something.
Okay, to get rid of something. Okay. Number 3, to recycle. Okay, recycle, it's like almost the same to reuse, but recycle is like when you use like a box or a bottle, okay, that obviously you can recycle, okay. Now please tell me, Mr. Estrella, tell me number 3, to recycle.
To collect and treat rubbish in order to produce useful materials that can be used again.
Very good. To collect and treat rubbish in order to produce useful materials that can be used again. Very good. To waste. Do you remember the meaning to waste? For example, wasting energy. Wasting. When you leave your computer on, you are wasting energy, okay? Gastar, waste, wasting. So number 4, Miss Campuzano, tell me the number 4, the definitions. Miss Campuzano. Okay.
Wait me a minute, please.
What? Please repeat the number 4, to waste. What is the definition to waste, Miss Campuzano?
Not to switch an placement of completely so it is ready to be used at any time.
Okay. Not to switch an appliance off completely so it is ready to be used at any time. To waste. Okay, then we finished. Then let's check the answers. Okay, the correct answers. Now the number 5, Mr. Macias, tell me the number 5.
The
The church.
to fill up an empty battery again.
Very good. To fill up an empty battery again. Very good, Mr. Macias. And number 6, to disconnect. Disconnect, the meaning of disconnect is like, for example, when you are on YouTube or when you are in WhatsApp and you are testing and boom, disconnect the Wi-Fi. It's left, it's gone. So tell me, Miss Arriaga, number 6, to disconnect. Miss Arriaga, you
to stop the connection between an electrical appliance and the power source.
Okay, to disconnect, to stop the connection between an electrical appliance and the power source. Okay, so the number 7, to save. Mr. Solis, tell me the number 7.
To save, this is to stop something from being waited.
Okay, to use too much of something or using correctly. Okay, to save. What is your answer? Ms. Toasa, tell me.
Teacher is incorrect.
What number?
And the number 4 is to use too much of something or use too incorrectly.
Okay, very good. Number 4 is to use too much. So, okay. To waste is to use too much of something or use it incorrectly. To waste, wasting energy, or when you are use your cell phone incorrectly form. For example, you are charging your cell phone, you are charging your cell phone and you are playing Free Fire. Okay, you are wasting energy. Okay, so very good, Miss Tuasa. So the number 7, what is the number 7? What is the correct answer of number 7 to save? Miss Vasco, tell me, what is the answer for the number 7? Miss Vasco. Miss Vasco, are you here? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, tell me the number 7.
7.
Yes. What is the number 7? Do you know? Yes or no? Yes. So tell me, what is the answer? To save, to protect. Okay. To save, to protect something that is in danger.
No es la segunda. De.
To collect and treat.
Yes.
Are you sure? Okay, I'll help you. To save, we have 2 answers: to stop something from being wasting, and the other is not to switch an appliance off completely so it is ready to be used at any time. To stop something from being waste, to stop something, like for example, to stop cut the trees, okay? That is an example to stop something. So that is an example to save, to protect the environment. So the number 7 is to save, is in the definition to stop something from being waste, okay? And the number 8, you can tell me number 8. Miss Mendez, tell me the number 8. to leave on standby.
And the number 8 is not to switch an appliance off completely so it is ready to be used at any time.
Very good. To leave on standby, not to switch an appliance off completely so it is ready to be used at any time. For example, in my computer, I have the option to put sleep, okay? It's on, but I don't use the computer when the computer is in mode sleep or mode off. Not completely, but it's off. Okay, so to leave on standby, not to switch an appliance off completely so it's ready to be used at any time. So let's check the answers. Okay, very good. Everything is okay. Very good, guys. Everything is okay. So please check the answers and correct your mistakes. Okay, please check the answers and correct your mistakes. Number 1 is to reuse. To use something again. To use something again. Number 2, to throw away. The definition is to get rid of something. Number 3, to recycle. The definition is to collect and treat rubbish in order to produce useful materials that can be used again. Number 4, to waste. To use too much of something or use it incorrectly. To charge. To fill up an empty battery again. To disconnect. To stop the connection between an electrical appliance and the power source. To save. The definition is to stop something from being wasted. And number 8, the last one, to leave on standby, not to switch an appliance off completely so it's ready to be used at any time. Okay, you done? You finished? Okay, so let's continue. Let's continue. Working pairs discuss this question. Do you waste a lot of energy? What could you do to save energy? Okay, this is speaking skill. We're practicing skill before. Okay, now we have the culture. Okay, we have the reading exercise. Look at the picture. Do you know what is this? Do you know what is this? Okay, it's like a monkey, but I think it have another name. Okay, so let's check. Exercise number 2. Read and listen to the article. What animals does it mention? Okay, so please listen. Pay attention, please. I'm sorry.
Unit 6, page 62. Culture, exercise 2. Stop before it's too late. The Himalayas. Why should we care? The Himalayan mountains in South-Central Asia contain many of the world's tallest peaks, including Mount Everest. They also contain the biggest number of glaciers after the North and South Poles. 3 of the greatest rivers in the world start from these mountains: the Ganges, the Indus, and the Yangtze. These rivers provide water to 1 billion people in Asia. What's happening? The biggest danger to the Himalayas is global warming, which is melting the glaciers fast. There is also a huge problem with deforestation in the mountains. Many species of animals, such as the tiger, the rhino, and the snow leopard, are in danger. The Amazon. Why should we care? The Amazon in Brazil is the largest tropical rainforest in the world. It is home to 10% of the world's wildlife. The Amazon River is the largest in the world and contains the most freshwater fish on the planet. It is also home to 350 different tribes. But perhaps most importantly, it provides between 25 and 30% of the world's oxygen. What's happening? The biggest threat is deforestation. This happens to make space for farmland and to have wood. As a result, many animals are endangered, among them the golden lion tamarin and the jaguar. Since 1950, we have lost more than 17% of the Amazon rainforest. We can't afford to lose any more. The Galapagos Islands. Why should we care? The Galapagos Islands are one of the most amazing places on Earth. These tiny islands are 1,000 kilometers from Ecuador in the Pacific and contain many species of plants and animals that are found nowhere else in the world. Among them the giant tortoise, the Galapagos penguin, and the Galapagos sea lion. They are also famous because the scientist Charles Darwin spent time there studying the wildlife. What's happening? The Galapagos Islands are very fragile. The greatest dangers to them include overfishing, pollution, and tourism. There is also a threat of animals from other parts of the world arriving on the islands and killing the local wildlife. The Great Barrier Reef. Why should we care? The Great Barrier Reef off the eastern coast of Australia is over 2,000 kilometers long. It is the only living organism on the planet that you can see from space. It is home to 1,500 different types of fish, 400 different types of coral, 215 different types of birds, and 6 different types of turtle. What's happening? We have already lost 10% of all the coral, but scientists fear that we will lose 70% more in the next 40 years. The greatest dangers to the reef are pollution and overfishing.
Okay, guys, so the first one, look at the picture. Do you know what this is? This animal is called golden lion tamarin. This is a kind of primate, okay, primate. Golden lion tamarin. Remember the name, golden lion tamarin, okay? It's a kind of primate, okay? Now, the number 2, read and listen to the article. What animals does it mention? Now, please guys, tell me what animals could you hear in the audio or in the story. Tell me, Mr. Solis, tell me one animal that can you hear in the audio, please.
Repeat, teacher, the question.
Okay, tell me one animal that can you hear from the story, okay? One animal. There were a lot of animals that was mentioned.
Turtles.
Okay, repeat.
Turtles.
Tortoise, giant tortoise. Okay, very good. Giant tortoise. What else, Miss Campuzano? Tell me other animal. What else? Miss Campuzano, tell me what other animals can you hear from the story? There were a lot of animals. There were a lot of animals that were mentioned. Do you know? Yes or no? No. Okay, don't worry. Mr. Okay, Mr. Estrella, tell me, what animals can you hear about from the story? Okay, tell me one animal. Mr. Estrella, are you here? Yes or no? Okay, don't worry, guys. There were a lot of animals, like for example, we have the tiger, the rhino, the snow leopard, freshwater fish with the golden lion tamarin. Okay, remember this is a golden lion tamarin, Galapagos penguin, as the Mr. Solis said, giant turtles. Okay, and the bears, turtles, and sea lions. Okay, now we are going to read the stop before it's too late. Okay, we are going to read this story. Please, Miss Toasa, read the first paragraph, the Himalayas.
In the Himalayas, why should we care? The Himalayan mountains in Central Asia contain many of the world's highest peaks, including Mount Everest. They also contain the biggest number of the glaciers after the north of South Africa. South Poles, three of the greatest rivers in the world start from these mountains: the Ganges, the Indus, and the Ganges. These rivers provide water to a billion people in the Asia.
Okay, so the Himalayas. The Himalayas is a mountain range in South Asia. It's home to over 100 mountains. Okay, 100 mountains is sitting 7,200 meters. Okay, including Mount Everest. Do you know the Mount Everest? I think you know the Mount Everest. Okay, many of the peaks are sacred to Buddhists in Hindus. Okay, now let's continue. What's happening, Miss Arriaga? Continue. What's happening?
What's happening? The biggest danger to Himalayas is global warming, which is melting the glacier fast. There is also a huge problem with deforestation in the mountains. Many species of animals, such as the tiger, the rhino, and the snow leopard, are in danger.
Okay, so what's happening? The biggest danger to the Himalayas is global warming. Global warming. Calentamiento global. Global warming. Okay, it's too hot, which is melting the glaciers fast. The glaciers is become to water. Okay, so the glaciers is melting. Okay, there is also a huge problem with deforestation in the mountains. Many species of animals, such as the tiger, the rhino, and the snow leopard, are in danger because the glaciers are melting. Okay, the Ganges is a river. Okay, the Indus is another river, and the Yangtze is another river. The Ganges is a river which flows through India and Bangladesh. Do you know Bangladesh? I think you know Bangladesh. Okay, the Indus River is a river that flows through Pakistan, and the Yangtze is a river that flows through China. Okay, so okay, we have only 4 minutes. Okay, next. Continue, Miss Vasco. The Galapagos Islands. Why should we care? The Galapagos Islands.
The Galapagos Islands are one of the most amazing places on
Earth.
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 Earth. The 10
Tiny.
islands are one.
These tiny
Islands are
1,000
1,000
kilometers
kilometers from Ecuador in the Pacific and contain many species of plants and animals that are found
nowhere.
nowhere else in the world. Among the
Continue, Miss.
um, nowhere
In the
else
world.
in the world. Among them, they again
Giant,
I
giant
iron
turtles,
tortoise, the Galapagos penguin, and the Galapagos sea lion. They are also famous because the
scientists.
scientist Charles Darwin spent time there studying the wildlife.
Okay, so why should we care the Galapagos Islands? The Galapagos Islands are one of the most amazing places on Earth. Everyone wants to visit the Galapagos Islands. These tiny islands are 1,000 kilometers from Ecuador in the Pacific Ocean, okay, and contain many species of plants, animals that are found nowhere else in the world, okay. Among them, the giant turtles, the turtle George, the George turtle, the Galapagos penguin, and the Galapagos sea lion. They are also famous because the scientist Charles Darwin spent time there studying the wildlife from Galapagos Islands. Okay, we have only then less 1 minute, so we'll continue tomorrow this read exercise. So, okay, guys, we'll continue tomorrow the reading exercise.